presence of our God. And if I can just take a subtopic, I know this movie came out over 30 years ago, but please tell somebody the night. Y'all not saying it. Tell somebody the night of the living dead. Come on, tell somebody else around you the night of the living dead.
Of the living dead.
There's something about nightness. There's something about night. Night has an intention and it has a purpose, but we notice that usually at nighttime things get darker because it is night. There are certain things, and I know some people used to, I'm not saying the same still, but there are some people that prefer to be out at night. If you ever watched any movies or any programs, they talk about zombies and vampires like to come out when it is dark. Because when it is dark, your vision is blocked. I don't want nobody to say amen too loud, but they say you ought not get dressed in a dark house because you think you're looking good inside, but walk outside into the day. So oftentimes, night serves its purpose, but we cannot stay where it is night. If you ever stay up long enough, you will look outside, and sometimes around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, depending on the time of year, you notice that night begins to end. And when does night end? Night ends once sunlight begins. So now here Paul is telling the people in Rome, the Romans, that the night is far spent. The night has its purpose, but the night is not meant to last forever. But there's one activity that all of us ought to be doing at night. Everyone should be doing. Now, some of us may do it during the day, but the most prudent time to do it is at night, and that activity is called sleeping. Our bodies need sleep. As a matter of fact, studies will tell you that it is more dangerous to drive tired than to drive intoxicated.
Wow.
Because your reactions are slower once your body is tired. And I don't know if anybody ever had it happen to you. Maybe it's just me. But oftentimes when you are tired, sleep begins to take control of you, whether you like it or not. You'll be sitting up and thinking that you're daydreaming and not realize that you've been asleep for 2.5 hours. If you're not careful, you'll sit down with your coat on and say, let me sit down for a minute at 5 o'clock, and somewhere about 7:45 or 8:13. Because your body desires and needs it. Sleep is a good thing. But, tell somebody, but we ought not sleep forever. We were not intended to sleep the whole day or sleep all the time. Because a few things happen when you are asleep. Medical research will tell us that when we sleep, that many of our vital functions shut down and only certain ones remain because we are sleeping. It is not a healthy thing to sleep. But once you sleep all the time, you will realize that when you are sleeping, you miss what is going on around you. If I can take my first point, sleep feels the same no matter where you are.
All right.
If you are on an airplane, if you're in a hotel room, if you're on the bus, hopefully not behind the wheel, hopefully pulled over, but if you're in the car, sleep feels the same. Has anybody ever been asleep and woke up and didn't remember where you... Oh, y'all ain't there. Okay, let me talk back here. Have you ever been asleep and woke up, been somewhere and don't remember where you are? I mean, you was just having a nice dream and you thought you was home and you just don't have any idea, any clue where you are. But sleeping can be dangerous because oftentimes I hear the Holy Ghost. Many of us don't realize we were asleep until after. Oh, God have mercy. I'm going to say it again. Many of us don't realize we were asleep until after we wake up. And my first point is the devil wants you to exist in a state of sleep. That means you don't even know that you're sleeping. Amen. Ask somebody, when did you know that you were asleep? When I looked at the clock and when I woke. Ask somebody the exact time and second that you went to sleep last night. I wonder if anybody can tell me the second you went to sleep. And now when you lay down, the second your body went to sleep. Many can't tell you.
Amen.
All you know was 9, it was 10, and then all of a sudden it was 4, it was 5. Did you just know?
Amen.
Because you don't know it until you wake up. And many of us are existing in a state of sleep. But you gotta be careful when you are asleep, because the second thing that happens when you are asleep is that you begin to dream. What is a dream? A dream is nothing but distorted reality. And some of us have been living in distorted reality. A dream is only real to one person. I'm going to say it again. The dream's only real to one person, and that's the dreamer. Uh-oh. And if you are living in a state of sleep while you are dreaming, the whole rest of the world is still functioning. But you are in distorted reality. You know the crazy thing about a dream is you think you're moving when you're still.
Amen.
You think you're going forward when you are still. And what the devil wants some of us to think right now, we are in a state of sleep. He wants you to think you're moving.
All right.
When you are still. So when you are asleep, you are not moving, you are dreaming. But then something else happens while you are asleep. Another thing that happens while you are asleep, the reason you ought not to sleep everywhere is because when you are asleep, you are vulnerable. Well, I'm going to say it again. Go ahead, you don't believe it? That's right. I want you to go down to Penn Station, leave your pocketbook open, and just get you a good nap, darling. I mean a nice one. I won't even go in the bus. You better make sure that stuff is crafted with. Because you are, that's right, because you are vulnerable when you are sleeping. You can be easily controlled when you are asleep. If a baby sleeps, you can move that baby while they are asleep. Folks can move you while you are asleep. Another reason we ought not to be asleep in our lives, because we don't want to be controlled by others. Don't let somebody control you in your sleep. If you are asleep, you just move where they move you. That's right. Sleep is something that we need, but too much of it can be bad for you. Amen. But if I can just take my subtopic from my predecessor, I believe this subtopic now, let me get my dates and my months correct. Amen. We were on 198 Sunset Avenue. Before you used to have iPads and computers and stuff, we used to have an easel with a little marker and a border. It used to be the subject of the month. Now, I'm going way back. Used to be the subject of the month. But there was a subject of the month that said, your dream will only come true if you wake up.
All right.
See, there's nothing wrong with dreaming. Dreaming's a good thing. Many inspirations come from dreaming. There's many. How many of y'all ever heard of Game of Thrones? Okay, I'm such a saved church. Y'all didn't know it. Y'all didn't know. We honor the Lord. That's beautiful. Children know it. But Game of Thrones came to somebody in a dream, and now it's making millions and millions of dollars. Many people's inspiration come in your dream. So dreams can be a good thing. There's nothing wrong with being inspired. Anyway, I hear the Lord right now. Sometimes you got to sleep a little so you can dream. Uh-oh. Sometimes we don't stop to dream. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to dream. Sometimes you got to be able to stop so you can dream. Sometimes you got to be able to stop to hear yourself think. To be inspired. So dreaming is not a bad thing, but dreaming remains a dream as long as you are asleep. Amen. In order for your dream to become reality, the first thing you got to do is to wake up. But how many people know waking up just isn't enough? I'm going to say it again. How many people ever had a job before? Just once. Amen. Praise the Lord. That's beautiful. Amen. Even the children ever had a job. You know, you usually at a job, they tell you a couple of things. How much you're going to get paid, but then also what else do you need to know?
What time you start?
What time you start? What time when you need to show up, and what time you leave? I hope you ask those three things. Don't you ever go start? Okay, if you start a job, ask how much you getting, when you need to be there, and when you going home.
Amen.
Don't be sitting there all day long. They have you for 12 hours. You thought you was working 8 because you didn't. But in order to be there on time, in order to get to that job, there's something you have to do very basic in the morning. You have to do what?
Wake up.
You got to wake up. But how many people know waking up is not enough?
Amen.
You could wake up, look at the clock,
and not get ready,
and just sit there. But waking up is not enough. There's an action that's required.
Amen.
You got to wake up. You have to stand yourself up, hope, wash up, do a little something. Yeah, you're going to be around people. You have to stand yourself up.
Amen.
But you can't just wake up, wash up, and sit and just stand there. Oh, I'm ready. Unless the job is downstairs or in your living room, you got to make your way out. If you're driving, getting in the car, and if you're getting on the bus, and I did. I took 3 buses to work at one time. You miss one, you miss the next one. You got to make sure you check that schedule.
Yes, you did. Amen.
And make sure you get yourself there. You have to do that on Monday, but guess what? Tuesday? That's right. Got to do it again. Wednesday? Thursday, you got to do it over and over again. But in order, the same thing happens with our dream. In order to make it a reality, not only do you have to wake up, but you have to take some action. But not only do you have to take action, but I hear God, you've got to take the right action.
Yes. Amen.
You work in Morristown, right? Now, very general. Let's say you know general about directions. If I told you, say, I know a new way for you to get to Morristown. I found out a real nice way. I want you to get on 280 East and keep going straight. Get on 280 East.
Oh boy.
And keep going straight. Once you get all the way down to the end near the bridge, you'll get to Route 78. Then make a U-turn and take 78 all the way back up. You'll get to Morristown. It'll eventually work. You just go to the bridge, and once you get to the bridge, and then 78 starts, and you get all the way back. You know you've got to take the right action. Now, if you want to leave at 5 o'clock every morning to get there. So the same thing happens with our dream. If I can take my second point, just because I've been doing it over and over again doesn't make it the right action. Some of us get caught in the cycle of doing the wrong thing over and over again. Just because it got you there doesn't mean it's the best way to get there. Some of us think just because it's worked, my Lord, it's the best way. One of the worst things that you can do is to get too comfortable.
Amen.
They don't want you. You think about today's life and society. They don't want you ever to get too comfortable, because if you're too comfortable, you'll stay too long.
Amen.
You go on a plane, they charge you for everything.
Yes, they do.
You want to put your legs up, they charge you. You want more leg room, they charge you. You want to sit near a window, they charge you. You want to sit up front, they charge you. You want 2 peanuts, they charge you. You want a diet soda, they charge you.
Amen.
You've got to be careful becoming too comfortable, because comfortability turns into something called complacency.
All right. Amen.
As comfortable as your bed is, as comfortable as you like it, as good as sleep feels, it's time to get up. But not only is it time to get up, wouldn't it be a sad thing for somebody to wake up every morning and do nothing?
Amen.
Say it again.
Jesus.
To have your health in your body and to wake up. What a waste, Lord. I hear you.
Amen. Amen.
What a waste it would be just to get up, open your eyes every morning and do absolutely nothing. But many of us do it in one way or another. We waiting for God to bless you with money. He said, but I blessed you with health so you can make some money.
All right. Preach.
I bless you with eyes. I bless you with your common sense. I bless you with your ideas. I'm not going to just drop some money from the sky.
All right.
And I know about, listen, I've heard testimonies of checks come in the mail, and this happened to me before. But that's not God. He's not going to send a check every 2 weeks to you in the mail.
Amen. Amen.
If you get an unexplained check in the mail, that is a catalyst, to catalyze your faith so you can do something else.
All right.
Don't you let that become your crutch.
Amen.
Well, God sent a check in the mail last month, so I'm believing God every kind of month. The Bible says, put not the Lord thy God to a foolish test. And some of us call something faith, and sometimes you got to be careful between faith and foolishness. But the Bible declares that faith without works is dead. Can I tell you something? Faith with no works is foolish faith.
All right. Amen.
You've got to be careful with folks that don't want to have any action that talk about, I believe in God. I talked to them. Told somebody not too long ago when I told that person, they told about how they were struggling and everything else like that. I said, well, have you put in the application? No, I'm believing God. Believe him for what?
Jesus.
To do what?
Jesus.
There's got to be some action. In order for your dream, I believe in God. We have those dreams. I believe in God to make my dream a reality. How did you make it reality? I want to open a store one day. Have you looked at what are you going to sell? Have you looked at any places? Have you tried to take out any loans? Have you talked to anybody? Does anybody like your product? I'm sorry.
All right. You tell me like it is.
You might be want to bake cakes and maybe they're nasty. Maybe you need to change some ingredients, but you're so careful not. So your dream got to close. Your dream will only come true if you wake up. Amen. But not only must you wake up, but I've got to take some action.
Amen.
How many people know it takes action to be healthy?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I'm going to tell you again. It takes action to be healthy.
Amen.
I just want to tell you the truth. In order for you to see somebody healthy, they took some action.
Amen.
They did something they were supposed to do, and they did not do something they were supposed to do. And some of those folks that y'all see on TV that's looking all good and all kinds of stuff, please don't think that they just woke up looking like that. You have no clue.
All right.
It took some action. Floyd Mayweather, I don't think he 5 minutes before the fight just decided to walk in there and say, let me go do this real fast. It took some preparation and action. So not only do we have to have action, but we have to, get this, we have to prepare for the action.
Amen.
You can't take the right action if you didn't first prepare. Many of us are in trouble in our lives right now simply because we did not prepare.
Amen.
We want God to bless us. We want God to do this for us. We want God to be like the Aladdin genie. We just rub him and stuff comes out, but we are not prepared. Yes. David said, thou preparest a table before me. In other words, tell somebody some stuff takes time.
Amen.
It takes time. It takes preparation. A meal made in 5 minutes is not going to taste like a meal that took a couple of hours. I don't care what you say, because some things take time. Your dream will only come true if you wake up. But now the second question is, what am I going to do now that I'm awake? You only have but so many hours in a day. Now, I can get scientific and break it down and say, well, the hours is something made by man. The sun only revolves but so many times. You want to get scientific. The earth only spins around but so many times. However you decide to measure it. But where we live, in this world, where we live, time is measured in units of milliseconds, seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, decades, centuries, and millennia. Now, unless you believe, now we've made it to 1 millennia, but unless you believe in God for a miracle, Be real. Okay, we know you made it to 1 millennium, but I don't have people plan on being around for, you know. But we only have but so much time. It's making the best of it. Rich folk, Tyler Perry got the same amount of time. Oprah has the same amount of time. Bill Gates has the same amount of time. Even Trump, he might be getting on our nerves, but he's rich because he took some time. And you know what I found out, what I can say about Trump? He's president because he took some time to, oh, wait a minute, no amens in here. I'm going to say it again. You think he just walked and knocked on the door and said, could y'all let me be president? He took some time. And not only did he take time, he took action.
Amen.
That should be an example for you. If somebody like that can take time and action and be in the highest office in the land.
My Lord.
The highest office in the land. Still saying what they want to say. Still doing what they want to do. Still saying one thing on Tuesday, tweeting another thing on Thursday, saying another thing on Friday.
Jesus.
But still sitting there. Then what can I do? Amen. Come on, clap your hands and give the Lord a praise, everybody. Amen. They need y'all separate real quick. Amen. I see what y'all doing. Amen. That's a disgrace in the house. Look, quickly. Amen. I said it 3 times. Amen. Praise the Lord. Let us all stand as we get ready to close. What am I going to do with my